Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, we're going to do some tactical training. We're going to see if you can calculate really deeply in this position and find the winning moves. Okay, so in this position, you want to look at the most forcing checks. At least that's the way I looked at it. Because right now you might notice that the knight and the queen are coordinating to give you checkmate in a couple. So if you make a passing move, let's just say, just to be a really bad move, they have check and you have to run away, and then check, you have to run away, and this is gonna not work out well, right? You're not gonna have to run away, and the best case scenario is you lose a lot of material, but you're gonna lose. So in this position, the best move is knight d6 check, believe it or not. And if they take, what do you have? Take. Threatening mate right here. How are you gonna stop that? You don't have a stop. Okay. So the idea here is there's a threat, and you have to address that threat. So let's look at these two moves that came to mind for me, and maybe there are more for you. The position will be in the description if you want to play around with different variations. So the two moves that came to my mind were pawn to h3, check, and bishop to h3, check. So I thought, in my calculation, I thought bishop h3, and then king takes, and this is how I saw it, queen h1, and this is going to be mate. The king has g4, only g4, and this is mate, because the pawns are holding these squares, and everything else is held together. So the question is, when you play bishop h3, what happens if they don't take it? Remember, you want to prove yourself wrong in these calculations. You don't want to prove yourself right. Okay, they go king h2. Now what? So you don't have anything. Turns out the best move is rook d to f8, like this. This is the best move in the computer's eyes. Oh, no, it just changed. Queen f3. That's the best move. Can you believe that? That's not a good move. So it turns out, in this position, after bishop h3, you cannot win as black, because they just sidestepped a check, and there's still these threats. So you got to address that in some way. Okay, so let's think about the other move, pawn to h3. So pawn h3 check, that's fine. There are two options that the king has, right? The king can go to h2 or g3. If they go to g3, we have queen g1 check, and that's not too bad. Okay, what about h2? And honestly, this is the move that motivated me to make this entire video. So if you see the winning move, let me know in the comments. It's been great to comment and talk to people in the chess community. And let me know if you see it. And while you're there, please subscribe as well. Okay, the move in this position is queen to g1. Bang. So they clearly have to take this move. There are no moves for the king other than taking this queen. And the reason why this is a great move is because now it clears the way for this h2 square. So pushing the pawn now is the only move that wins. So push, and now we have to think about the three options that the king has. The king can go in the corner to h1, g2, or f1. So let's talk about the one that's actually the least resistance, which is g2. In that case, you promote to a queen, and in this position, there are quite a few mates. There are four mates. 1, 2, 3, and then the rook makes 4. Okay, so that's not a good idea. So the king shouldn't go to g2. What if they go to the corner? Well, in this case, rook d1, kind of the same idea. They can block if they want, but computers will do that. Humans won't really do that. And then, same kind of thing. Promote g3. And in this position, again, there are mates. Lots of mates. Okay, so what if they go to f1? And this is the forcing variation you have to be able to see. And this is all the training, all the tactical training. Can you see all this, I guess, all these variations? Okay, promote to a queen, right? Sure, they have only one move, because this is all blocked off. They have only one move. We'll put that in green. Okay, now here's the thing. in this position, there's only one move that really wins, according to the computer. And that's queen d1. Okay, that's fine. That seems sensible, right? And this is what got me just thinking about this puzzle and why it's so amazing. After king d3, and I check again with the queen, the king has to continue, or sorry, the bishop has to continue to block, and you say, okay, in this position, there is one move that the computer sees as way better than every other move. And I just kind of find that amazing. I will tell you what I would play in this position. I'm not a grandmaster, I'm not a master. I'd play rook d3 in a heartbeat because I see this as win the queen. And if I win the queen, this threat is extinguished, and I'm okay with that. They would have to take me, I'd have to take them, and this is fine. I would feel comfortable winning this because I have the queen, I have the initiative, I have some checks maybe later on. Because if they do not take me with their queen, I will take their queen, right? And the only move is to take because the king is mated otherwise. So that's what I would play. Turns out that is not the best move in this position according to the engine. And this is just, the computers are just amazing at calculating. Rook h2 is the best move in this position. Can you believe that? That's just ridiculous because I'm putting pressure here. Clearly, I'm threatening mate. But here's the thing. That neglects this whole threat. Not that threat, this threat. So after queen a7, king c8, here's what's crazy. You have a couple of checks here. You can check here. You can play the knight in. I'm thinking, what happens if you do this on the run? It turns out black can actually run away and have safety for the king. Feel free to mess with the variations. There are lots of different ones. But the computer says king e6 is the best move. Look at that move. The king is going into the battle, letting the queen check, letting the knight check. Isn't this crazy? Knight c7 check. The king walks into discovered check. And then after, the best move in the computer's eyes is knight d5. And you just go to g8 and you go, okay, now what? Now I'm going to get you here. Isn't that just incredible? And what do you do now? You keep checking? Like the computer is saying queen b3 is the best move. Okay, queen b3. And what does that do? Queen f2 check. And we're blocking the mate threat now. But this is saying mate in 9. I'm not going to go through mate in 9, but if you would like to, like I said, the position is in the description. Okay, so really, you have to see how well you can calculate this. Let's go all the way back. In this initial position, you have to be able to see that 1, bishop h3 does not work because they don't have to take. That's the first pitfall. And I think that's one of the best things when it comes to calculation. Seeing if your move works and try to find the best move for your opponent. Don't just say, oh, well, if they take it, I mate them. Okay, but what if they don't? They don't have to take it. And then, being able to find the forcing sequence after this stunning move, queen g1. If you found that move, then you have to find the rest. Because you might think right here it's easy, but it's not. After you check, you still have to find this sequence of checks, and it is not easy. So this puzzle in particular is just tactical training. Can you find all these moves? And like I said, in this position, I play rook d3. I don't know if Magnus would play rook d3 because he's a superstar, but I think that's what I would play. I don't know if I'd play rook h2 thinking about this. I would be very scared about all these threats. But the computers are much better than I am. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you enjoy this puzzle, please let me know. Subscribing and liking is one way to let me know. Thank you all for the help so far. We've actually started donating to charities, so I'm really happy about that. April is over, and now a new charity begins in May. So thank you all so much, and I look forward to growing everything with you guys. Thanks so much. Bye.